Hey everybody, Steve here back on the N-Scale Cajon sub, and welcome back to the layout. This is going to be layout update number 11. It's been about a month or so since our last video we released. Unfortunately, the holidays came quick, and some work travel, a 25-year wedding anniversary cruise, and an unexpected funeral have really had me busy the last few months. So I've been trying to get a layout video up and out to you guys, but unfortunately real life stuff has just kind of kept me busy. So anyway, figured I would go ahead and get one out here sooner rather than later and show you what we've been working on over the last few months. Not a whole lot again, but you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit of stuff we've been working on over, you know, different parts of the layout, and I think you guys will see some changes since the last one. So anyway, let's go over to the layout and see what we've been up to. Alright, so here on main 3 now we have finally got this track installed, and just need to hook up the feeders. It's powered just because there's no brakes in the track from the other section, but we will need to go ahead and get the feeders installed for block detection and power, so that when this section of the track becomes isolated, it'll still be powered. But that track is secured now, and then I went ahead and got this bridge built and installed. I had done this bracing last video, but I just had the bracing and the bridge wasn't cut, so really easy. I just measured, cut the sub road bed that was already there, and then went ahead and installed some braces here just to support the existing sub road bed, so there was no sag or anything like that. But I am going to still build some abutments for underneath the bridge on each end, and then I'll probably have another brace coming out a little bit further there for scenery, and probably can start kind of blending that in once I get the fascia put up there. So went ahead and continued this track up a little bit further, and that's kind of where I'm at here for main 3 as far as track. Unfortunately, this micro engineering concrete flex is just, it's still not in stock. I'm very low on it, so I need more to continue working my way around to the UP Highline. You know, I don't know how far we'll really get, so trying to use that track sparingly. I only have 6 pieces left, so it's not going to make its way around. I also got this bracing installed and a couple supports installed there, so that'll make this a little bit more secure, or at least this part a little bit more secure once it's finally secured to the layout. Alright, working our way back over here to Sullivan's Curve and Cajon and Cajon. You can kind of see now we have Tortoise switch motors installed for the crossovers. I have 8 of 9 installed. I just have 1 left to do. These have all been installed, and I still have to wire them, but I have checked them with a power supply just to make sure they all have good movement and good throw operation once they're hooked up. So they've all been adjusted on the layout. They're all secured to the layout. Now I just need to go ahead and wire them. So in my previous video, I was using RPC turnout controls on the lower level by DeVore. I'm not sure if I'm going to use those up on this top section, or maybe might make myself like a small control panel for the upper level, at least here at Cajon. I don't have too many turnouts on the upper level, so kind of debating on whether or not to use make my own like control panel up here, where all the switches and LEDs are built into one, you know, panel, maybe mounted in the front here once I start working masonite or fascia up on the upper level. So more to follow on that. Kind of just got tired of looking at these push pins that were all, you know, over here on the upper level. But anyway, really easy to do for anyone who's worried about trying to install Tortoise turnout motors. They're not very difficult. They're very easy to do. They come with great instructions from Circuitron, and now that I've got them in, I won't ever go back to those manual turnouts. That's just my preference, you know. But there's others out there, but they're very simple to install, very simple to wire. I do recommend, if you're going to use the a lot of Tortoise switch machines. Just buy the $7 plastic template or make one. They come with a paper one, but it doesn't last. So you can't go wrong when using that to mount the Tortoise underneath and get it lined up properly. So, but anyway, got one more there to go in. Actually, two more, I should say. I've got one more here for main 3, and another one over here at the cajon siding, which you can kind of see I've got some starting to mock up some boards to, you know, manufacture a little bit more sub road bed here where cajon siding is going to go in. Okay, working down the upper level down at Blue Cut. Again, last time we had mocked up sub road bed from Blue Cut down to the Helix on this upper level or UP Highline. Now I have the sub road bed cut and held in place. It's I've got the braces underneath. I just need to come back and do the risers that are going to connect the bracing to the sub road bed. But the UP Highline sub road bed, for the most part, is done. I'm going to paint that before I put down any road bed or track, and then we'll start working. Hopefully, if we get more micro engineering track in place, we'll get that installed here soon. But I think that's probably going to be on hold because micro engineering has not made it clear they're producing it yet. Every time I call, she says they have a problem with the mold and there's no plans to start fixing the mold just yet. I think they have other things that are taking priority, but I'm sure if more people call them, more people need this, you know, this concrete flex track by micro engineering. You know, call and let micro engineering know you want it. The more demand, the more people will probably start calling, then the more they'll probably hopefully move it up the list. I've looked at Payco. I believe it's Payco makes something similar, but to me it just doesn't look the same. So I'm not a fan of the Payco track. I think the ties are spaced a little bit differently, a little bit higher. So for me, I'm going to stick with micro engineering. So one of the reasons I haven't got these Tortoises on the upper level wired in yet is I need to run a bus up here. This will probably be like a hidden bracing once I get everything mounted, but I'll hide some wiring behind fascia, and then that'll have my bus wires coming up. But I have a DC bus I need to start running up to the upper level and through the rest of the lower level for my Tortoise switch machines. But last video I was talking about building a drawer. I did move this desk out from under here, and this will kind of probably be like a little workbench once I have the layout done. Maybe I can do some painting there, detailing cars, things like that. Just a small little workbench. But I did build this drawer right here that I mounted it underneath, and this is going to be my DCC setup. So I'm going to have my Digitrax system in there, probably like my PR3, PM42, and my 12-volt power supply in there. And you know, I'll probably put like mount a little fan in there just to keep air moving through. But it is open on the back as well. But this was pretty simple to make. I just made it, and then I made a box for it that's open on the back, and then yeah, hopefully like a nice clean area to install all my DCC components and accessories. So once I get that in, I'll probably start working on the UP5 panels and running local net cable to different parts of the layout for those. So, but I'm really impressed with how this turned out. I think it'll look really clean once the layouts gets a little further along, and then I can actually retire this MRC Prodigy system, which I've just been using for testing and operating trains on the layout for now. But hopefully in the next layout video or two, I'll have the Digitrax system up and running. I've just been kind of toying with different ideas on how to mount the like come up with a system where if I have like a terminal board mounted inside the drawer somewhere, one where I can when I open and close the drawer, it's not going to yank the wire. So I'm just playing around with different ideas on how I can do that so I don't damage wires when I'm opening and closing the drawer. And then but there's ways out there. I'm just, you know, doing my research before I just jump into anything. Oh. All right, lower level on the west end of San Bernardino yard. This is actually a little bit further along. I've got my arrival, departure tracks 1, 2, and 3, which is right here. Arrival, departure 1, 2, 3, and the yard lead all installed. The yard lead I still have to secure down, but that one's still actually in work. But 1 and 2 are actually all the way down to the east end of the yard on the lower level. And then I've also started mocking up my lower level yard on this end, so you can kind of see now how it's starting to take shape. There'll be 4 tracks here for classification, and then 3 locomotive facility tracks, and then these 4 here will just be UP tracks running through. So I'll have a little bit of staging for UP, and BNSF will have the bulk of the yard. Locomotive facilities, I don't know if I'm going to run them into the yard lead here or run that around over here yet, but I do plan on having somewhere in here probably a couple buildings in a yard shop, or a car shop, sorry. So this is actually the car shop. I'll probably move that, and then I have a locomotive facility that I'm going to reach out to Vinny and see if he wants to modify it for me, or if I might just do it myself. I don't know. Just haven't had the time to. I got to call Vinny back and you know, talk details with him on it and see what his time schedule is like. I know he's pretty busy and he's got other projects, so don't want to weigh him down if he's got a lot on his plate already. I mean, it's not something I need right away, but it's something, you know, down the road. Definitely be looking. It'll be probably like twice the length of this, and it's 3 bays, so should look pretty good there. And then these 4 tracks here will kind of follow. You can kind of see the tape I've got there for those 4. They'll follow around and become part of the other end of the yard, and then the yard lead, and they'll meet up over here with the yard lead, and then branch out into some other tracks over here, which I'll show you guys. As you can see there in all the pins, that's my arrival departure track 3. Just got to glue that one down. Feeders are already installed on it, and then just bring the yard lead around. But 1 and 2 are all the way down. You can see they actually come down to the other end of the layout now, and they meet up with main 1. So main 1 will feed into arrival departure tracks 1, 2, and 3, and now we've got 3 long arrival departure tracks on our yard. I do need to go ahead and install tortoises on this end and the other end, and still got that to do, but other than that, for the most part, this would be operational otherwise. And then you can see where my main, I'll have a yard lead that'll branch off and meet up over here, and then I'll have I'll have 8 classification tracks here for the BNSF, and then down here will be my UP 1 and 2, I guess, or UP double main will come in, and then they'll branch off and have anywhere from 2 to 3 staging tracks. So I should be able to have, a pretty good size yard down here for not just staging tracks, but I should be able to do some yard operations too, like building trains and things like that. So it's kind of coming along. Did get all the sub-road bed, or not all the sub-road bed, the road bed down. Last time I think I'd run out of cork about here, so all that's done now, and just working on getting ready to build some sub-road bed for the UP line that'll come around here and meet up with this. This is some I've been working right here. It's not glued down yet, but this sub-road bed kind of gives you an idea which path it'll follow to the yard down here. And then the cardboard is obviously just what's mocked up for what I still need to cut out. In doing this is right here, roughly is where this piece comes apart. If I were to disassemble the layout, right where my finger is, that's a joint. So in doing this, this was just a brace going across here. I had to cut that and then put into pieces so that when this part comes apart, I can disassemble it into two pieces. This will stay with that piece, and then this would stay with this piece over here. So kind of as you go, gotta add to or take away, whatever it is, but gotta make it work. So later on down the road, you know, if you ever have to move the layout, it's easy to move. So, but anyway, that's my lower level. Haven't got a whole lot done. Nothing's really changed here. It's messy. I apologize. But I'll kind of walk through the lower level one last time to give you guys an idea on how it's looking. But track here with the blue tape is obviously not glued down. It's just mocked up in place, and the tape is just holding it in place. So as I lean across to work on like the arrival departure tracks, I'm not moving all the pieces of track, and I don't lose what I had. So, but it's slowly getting there. It's going to be a pretty good sized yard when it's all said and done. But anyway, I just wanted to get out a little bit of an update and show you guys where we're at, and let you know, hey, I'm still here. I haven't forgot about my fans and my subscribers. And yeah, there's the layout. So I don't know if I'll have any trains behind this one, just because I want to get this up and out, but I'll probably do another video with just some train operations. And then I'm thinking what I'm going to start doing, instead of longer videos, longer update videos, I might just do, like, if I'm doing something just like, you know, all my tortoises here, maybe just do a little smaller, shorter video on, you know, hey, this update is just on Cajon tortoises, and then maybe show you guys a little bit of how I do it as I go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't mind keeping the videos the way they are, or breaking them up into little shorter ones, and maybe throwing some how-tos in there as I go. So, but anyway, appreciate you guys stopping in, and appreciate your comments, and look forward to more videos coming out in 2020. So have a great new year, everybody. Take care. Bye.